Do you know why our boy Ben Tennyson had to spend his entire youth saving the world? It's because the villain lineup in this series is just way too cool, powerful, and overwhelmingly numerous. From the tentacle boss Vilgax, the mad scientist Animo, the creepy clown Lord Zombozo, to the edgy bad boy Darkstar.
Every single one of them is overpowered and just itching to pick a fight with Ben.
But hey, just saying it like this might be hard to believe, right? That's why today, I'm making a video ranking the villains in Ben 10 by strength, so you guys can really see what kind of exhausting journey Ben had to go through to save the world from all these maniacs. Seriously though, what's the point of having superpowers if it's gonna be this stressful? Alright, I'm done feeling sorry for Ben's fate. Now, let's hit that subscribe button and jump right into the video. Let's go! Vilgax. Vilgax is an intergalactic warlord from the Chimera sui generis species, hailing from the planet Vilgaxia, and has been Ben's lifelong nemesis throughout many installments of the series. In terms of personality, Vilgax is a cruel and power-hungry tyrant. He's willing to play dirty and crush anyone who stands in his way to get what he wants. However, despite all that, Vilgax deeply cares for the people in the planet of Vilgaxia. For the safety of his homeworld, he won't hesitate to seek help from anyone, even if that means teaming up with his enemies. Dubbed the most dangerous entity in the universe, Vilgax has achieved countless feats that not many villains in Ben 10 could ever pull off, like conquering 10 planets, destroying 5 others, and even creating a cosmic black hole. However, no matter how overpowered and ruthless he is, Vilgax still has a weakness. And that weakness is none other than the most threatening criminals in the galaxy, Mob Riddle. Rumor has it, Mob Riddle once made Vilgax shed a tear. S+. Albedo. Albedo is an eccentric genius from the Galvan species, and the wielder of the Ultimatrix. In the past, he was one of the trusted assistants of the brilliant scientist Asmuth. However, Albedo later turned against Asmuth, believing that only someone as intelligent as himself deserved to possess the Omnitrix and that Ben was unworthy of it. Realizing that Albedo's thoughts had become too selfish and extreme, Asmuth decided to exile him from their homeworld. Determined to prove himself right, Albedo went on to create his own version of the Omnitrix. However, due to a flaw in the prototype, he accidentally ended up stuck in the form of the person he hated most, Ben Tennyson. This only fueled his hatred for Ben even more, and he swore to get revenge on the kid no matter what. Not only is Albedo a genius, but he's also a skilled fighter, capable of easily defeating Gwen and Kevin using just Swampfire and Diamond Head. He even managed to take down hundreds of Vilgax's Humongosaur clones by unleashing the power of Ultimate Humongosaur. Rank S. Dr. Animo was once a brilliant scientist, but after being rejected by society, he turned to the path of mutant biology, driven by his ambition to conquer the world with bizarre hybrid creatures. Every time he appeared, Dr. Animo would hatch bold new schemes like turning pets into monsters, manipulating humanity with biological viruses, or destroying cities using giant beasts. Beyond his genius intellect, Dr. Animo also proved to be an impressive survivor. He even managed to find a way to control the Null Guardians, seizing control of the Null Void and using them in his attempt to invade Earth. Rank A. Agregor. Agregor is a ruthless and cunning intergalactic criminal from the Osmosian species. As an Osmosian, Agregor possesses the ability to absorb the energy and powers of other beings. In Ultimate Alien, he captured 5 of the most powerful aliens in the universe: Bivalven, Galapagos, Pandora, Andreas, and Riad. He then absorbed all of their abilities, transforming into Ultimate Agregor, an insanely overpowered version of himself. Afterward, Agregor set his sights on reaching the Forge of Creation, the birthplace of the universe, with the goal of absorbing the powers of young celestial sapiens and claiming the ability to reshape reality itself. Unfortunately for him, before he could lay a hand on a celestial sapien, he was defeated by Ultimate Kevin. Rank S+. Darkstar. Darkstar's real name is Michael Morningstar. According to Charmcaster, Darkstar is one of the 5 most powerful sorcerers, and also the most cunning villain Ben's team has ever faced. At first, Darkstar appears as a handsome, cocky, blonde, pretty boy that's hard to come by. But that's only his form when fully charged with energy. When he runs out of power, Darkstar transforms into an old, withered, ugly man. To maintain his good looks, Darkstar constantly seduces young, beautiful girls with the intention of draining their life energy. Because of this, his abilities mainly revolve around absorbing energy from living beings, whether it's life force, magic, electricity, and so on. However, his strength is a frustrating, endless cycle. The more energy he absorbs, the stronger he becomes, but the stronger he gets, the more violently his hunger for energy grows. Rank A. Dagon. Dagon is a demonic entity from another dimension. His goal for coming to Earth is to devour this entire dimension. According to Asmuth, Dagon had already conquered 100 dimensions before setting foot on the home planet of Ben. Unlike other characters who typically rely on physical strength or conventional magic to fight, his abilities are closer to that of a divine being, granting him an overwhelming and godlike influence over the universe. As a result, when facing Ben in the form of Ultimate Way Big, Dagon easily defeated him, despite Ben always having the advantage of striking first. Rank S++. Kyber is a Zarathian bounty hunter, known by the nickname the greatest huntsman in the galaxy. He's a man who fears nothing, not the heavens, not the earth, only poverty. Because of this, Kyber has spent his entire life hunting creatures across the galaxy to collect bounties.
As a galactic hunter, he possesses physical abilities far beyond those of ordinary humans and many mid-tier aliens,
along with exceptional hand-to-hand combat skills and the incredible stamina inherent to his Zarathian species. In addition, Kyber is a man of few words, always prioritizing professionalism and dedication to his role as a villain. Proof of this is how he silently carries out his actions, never uttering a word to Ben, a stark contrast to other villains who always love to reveal their plans in advance to Ben. Rank A. Aeon. Aeon is an evil interdimensional traveler from an alternate timeline. An ultimate alien, Aeon claims to be the evil and ruthless version of Ben from the future. After the Omnitrix was destroyed, he became trapped in the form of a biological robot, similar to a Cronian. Being a Cronian, Aeon's powers are quite similar to those of alien clockwork, with abilities such as manipulating time travel, firing time beams that cause aging, and freezing time. Rank A+. Charmcaster. Charmcaster is the granddaughter of the dark sorcerer Hex and a young witch from the magical empire of Legerdomain. At the age of 20, Charmcaster was able to wield the Staff of Ages, an artifact said to be usable only by the most powerful sorcerers. Meanwhile, her uncle Hex took half a century to master it. This allowed Charmcaster to quickly rise to the top of the most powerful witches in the Legerdomain realm. However, she often finds herself defeated by Gwen due to her slower reflexes. Rank B. Malware. Malware is a defective galvanic mechamorph created during the Helix process of life creation. Being a flawed product, his personality is violent, hateful, and envious, completely different from his peaceful and benevolent counterparts. For Malware, technology is meant to upgrade him, not the other way around. This makes him extremely dangerous if he gains access to any advanced technology. Additionally, Malware is terrifying due to his ability to drain the life energy of his own kind to restore himself, causing other galvanic mechamorphs to become depleted and turn into a rigid, motionless state. Because of this, he is considered the only predator of his own species. Rank B. Maltruant is a rogue, chronosapien, and the mastermind behind the Time War event. He can be considered the perfect example of the saying not only bad, but also plays the villain. Compared to other villains, Maltruant is far more violent and ruthless. Once he achieves his own goals, Maltruant is more than willing to discard his allies and subordinates without a second thought. And during his operations, if he sees his subordinates fail more than twice, he won't hesitate to eliminate them. As a chronosapien, Maltruant has the ability to wind himself up and release time beams that can age or rejuvenate anything. This power is so strong that even Atomic X cannot withstand more than 2 strikes from him. Additionally, he possesses the ability to see through time and space, as he seems to know everything about Ben 23, despite never having appeared in that timeline. Rank S++. Fistric is one of the rare villains in Ben 10 who's just an ordinary human, not a sorcerer, alien, or some evil supernatural entity. Yet our bro Fistric still leaves quite an impression on fans, thanks to his creative mind in every heist, friendly and likable personality, and a jacked physique. Not unlike Giga Chad. On top of that, he's surprisingly humble, even though everything, from the plans, the tech, to the execution is done or paid for by Fistric himself. Whenever someone asks, he casually claims someone else gave it to him. Fistric is also incredibly tough and stubborn. Proof of that is when he got absolutely pummeled by Kick and Hawk. Yet didn't breathe a word about why he was on Ravana, Rook's home planet, or how he got his hands on the devastating Tekadon star beam platform. Rank C. Forever Knights. The Forever Knights is a knightly organization founded by Sir George after his victory over Dagon. At its core, the group's primary goal was to protect humanity from extraterrestrial threats. Although their ideals might sound noble on the surface, in reality, the Forever Knights is an extremist human supremacist organization, willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their objectives, no matter how catastrophic the consequences might be. To make matters worse, after Sir George's departure, the Forever Knights fractured into numerous smaller factions. Each one followed its own ideals and ended up despising the others. Rank B. Zombozo is one of Ben's earliest enemies. Unlike most other villains, Zombozo focuses on manipulating emotions and feeding on fear rather than engaging in direct combat. Before the events of Ben 10 original series, Zombozo actually worked at a school cafeteria. However, he was bitten by a zombie and turned into an undead being, surviving by absorbing the emotions of others to grow stronger. Ironically, despite loving to terrify people and feast on their fear, Zombozo is actually a coward when he doesn't have his henchmen around to back him up. Rank C. After gathering and ranking everything, here it is. The power ranking of all the villains who have ever gone up against our boy Ben Tennyson. And of course, that's just how I see it. Do you guys have any different opinions? Drop a comment down below and let me know. And for now, bye-bye.